بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Selamun alaikum. This is again 17th word. The section is called the first table. I sent the link. This is page 232 in my book. It might be different in different versions. But again, this is 232.
What is the page number in your version, Khalid?
231.
So in another version, it was 231. It's either 231, 232, or maybe 233. But it's first table. Anyone wants to read like Abdul Rahman? You haven't spoken today.
Don't call me to the world. I came and saw it was transitory.
So before starting there, shall we read the paragraph before it?
Go ahead, please. Yes,
because it gives an explanation of what those two tables are.
You mean about 25 years ago?
In the brackets.
Okay, yeah, it is the explanation of what those two tables are.
About 25 years ago on Yusha Tepesi, Mount Joshua, above the Istanbul Bosphorus, at a time I had decided to give up the world, a number of important friends came to me in order to call me back to the world and my former position. I told them to leave me till the following morning so that I could seek guidance. That morning, the following two tables were imparted to my heart. They resemble poetry, but they are not. I have not changed them for the sake of that blessed memory, and they have been kept as they occurred to me. They were added to the 23rd ward and now have been included here on account of their station. The first table. The table depicting the reality of the world of the heedless. Don't call me to the world. I came and saw it was transitory. Heedlessness was a veil. I saw the light of truth was concealed.
You may read it like slower, yes.
Could you read one for me, and then I'll see how slow? No? Okay. Don't call me to the world. I came and saw it was transitory. Heedlessness was a veil. I saw the light of truth was concealed. All the beings in existence I saw were ephemeral, harmful. If you say being, I dressed in it. Alas, it was non-being. I suffered much. If you say life, I tasted it. I saw it was torment upon torment. The mind became pure torture. I saw permanence to be tribulation. Life became pure whim. I saw attainment to be pure loss. Deeds became pure hypocrisy. I saw hopes to be pure pain. Union became parting itself. I saw the cure to be the ill. These lights became darkness. I saw these friends to be orphans. These voices became announcements of death. I saw the living to be dead. Knowledge was transformed into fancy. I saw in science 1,000 ailments. Pleasure became pure pain. I saw existence to be compounded non-existence. If you say the beloved, I found him. Alas, on separation, I suffered grievous pain.
That was lovely.
Thank you. There was an email from Alawi today. It was very short that he sent to Kelmer. And he said like when you read Nursi, don't read him like as in just intellectual, what was the word? Like it is not like the Risale Nur is not a product of like intellectual activity. He rather, when he was on top of a pine tree, on top of a mountain, reflecting for months, he almost like submerged into the reflection with all his being. And then you read the Risale, you should be reading the Risale with the same kind of mindset, like as much as possible. It is just interesting that like after reading that email, like this passage, I think is a very good example of that reminder. Like what I don't know if you want to like discuss line by line, but like overall what I see is like he's really into this like the reflection with all his like faculties. Like there's a lot of emotion in this. Like that's what I see.
And maybe the background of this would help understanding what he's talking in here. After serving as a volunteer warrior in the First World War, Nursi was captured by the Russians, and he fled from there by taking a long journey on foot. He arrived to Istanbul, and when he came to Istanbul, still it was the last days of Ottoman Empire, but people regarded him so highly as a war hero, first of all. Then they regarded him so highly as a scholar. They gave him the highest position that is suitable for his knowledge. He was given all the resources to study and also preach people, propagate his ideas. So, and he keeps saying that he was able to get a house from Çamlıca, which is looking at the Bosphorus from top. So he has a nice house. He has a nice living. So
he got the life.
Yeah, he got the life. So in such conditions, I mean, he had fame. He was being acknowledged. He was, in terms of, according to his understanding of a luxury life, he was having a luxury and beautiful life. In such a state, people said that, but when he was captured during those days in Russia, he decided to leave the world. So he is saying that when he come back to Istanbul, he forgot about his promise, because he promised to go back to the caves and not get into people's lives, seclusion. But he says, when I come back to Istanbul and saw this environment, I forgot my promise and I get into the world. But later on, he says, one day I was looking at the mirror and I saw the white hairs in my beard, and it became a reminder to me, and this is the point that he is writing. He is saying those words. He's saying that, don't call me to the world. I came and saw it was transitory. This is the background of the story. When he looks at the mirror, he sees that, and although the life is now good for him, when looking at the mirror, he is seeing this white hair and saying that, okay, I am going, everything is going. Does the acknowledgement from people, does it give me the satisfaction that I'm really looking for? The house that I have in Çamlıca or anything that I have right now, do they satisfy me? So I guess in here, this is such a soul is crying out in here. Although, according to his status, these are the good life, but apparently he was not satisfied, and this is the words for that.
Don't call me to the world. I came and saw it was transitory. Why he says, I came and saw?
Came to the world.
But I mean, he could say, for instance, I see, instead of I came and saw.
I guess in terms of, you are not saying it in the past, is saying that you are not suggesting something that I don't know. I already tasted it, and I know that it doesn't work. Come to me with something that I didn't experience as a solution, because somebody is suggesting you something as a solution or as something good, and you say that no.
Heedlessness was a veil. I saw the light of truth. Truth was concealed. All the beings in existence I saw were ephemeral, harmful. This harmful part. Any comments? Everything in existence is harmful. What kind of harm is referring to?
Harmful to your soul.
Now, should we then, what was the word you used? Seclusion?
Seclusion.
chose the seclusion and just isolate ourselves from the earthly beings?
I think the ephemeral the aspect or nature of the beings in existence is harmful to himself or harmful to us or our hearts.
So you are saying that the things has ephemeral aspect, but they also have eternal aspects as well. And when we try to clinch on the ephemeral aspects, they become harmful. Is that what you're saying?
Well, obviously, eternal aspect is not yet discussed, so I don't want to comment on that yet. So there's a conclusion. But yes, it's just that by nature, we don't like fleeing things or things that are departing us, leaving us. We just don't like it. So it harms ourselves. So that much I can say. I don't want to jump into conclusion and talk about eternal dimension.
Being is wired.
Start again, please. We were muted.
Human being is wired in a way that like heart is never satisfied with the things that you can acquire in this life. You always, like no matter how rich you are, no matter what kind of luxurious life you have, I have been there, done it. That was a joke. It's because he said I came and saw it. That's what I referred to. Human heart is never satisfied really. Like there is really only one thing that really satisfies human heart is I think there's a verse that like zikr of God, remembrance of God. So understanding Him, making that connection is really the only true way out from this misery. As far as I understand, like this table in different words, always like pondering over that. I have a friend like from college that they had their own business in Istanbul, and now like they are getting like bigger projects. And I was talking to him. He said like they have like really big businesses from like medicine factories. He said, but like as you get bigger, the problems are like getting bigger. And risk is getting bigger. I was listening to him and like, that is the thing, like you want to acquire more and more and more. I think that's the real nature of business. Otherwise you'll not be able to compete. So, but as you acquire more, you take more pressure, more stress on yourself.
There is more to lose.
There is more to lose, yeah. So the point is like, no matter how like more you can acquire, like you will never be satisfied by it.
Moral of the story: food truck business is the best.
But with food truck business, you earn a lot, so it's not good.
You think it's going to be best, but like, he's going to be very greedy. We wouldn't want to miss even one customer.
If you say being, I dressed in it, Alice, it was non-being. I suffered much. So this part is not clear to me. So maybe somebody can help.
So a friend was actually saying that he was saying that, but at least you exist and you enjoy. So, like we were drinking coffee. At least you enjoy it right now. The moment. As if living the moment is good. She's saying that no, the very being of being itself becomes my torture.
Because the vagueness.
Because it goes away. And because of ephemerality, being itself becomes the torture itself. How can I say that, okay, but once upon a time I drink coffee, at least it was good. And because right at the time I drink it, I enjoy it, it departs. So the being itself becomes my enemy. It's generally it is being suggested as at least you have that, at least you enjoy. Live the moment is being daily usage of that. But this is my problem. I mean, the solution that is being suggested is the problem itself. With ephemerality, being itself becomes my torture because it doesn't stay in my hand, it just goes away. So, I mean, if you say being, yeah, I dressed in it, I very well know what it is. Or it was non-being.
Yeah, I think he's also making a reference to like most like the being as less being a human body. So you dress in that and you make it like only satisfying your stomach, your taste, without seeing what the meaning is in there. Like if you don't really regard that you have a soul that is searching for something else. So in heedlessness, it becomes very ephemeral if the being is just reduced to, as the materialists take it upon themselves as just, you dress in a certain way, you eat the best food, but then, as Yusuf, you were saying, it's all transitory.
I just realized that heedlessness is the veil, right? And people who are kind of awake and question the situation and struggle with it to find some sort of answer in like the society, today's society, those people usually referred as psychological people, like people with psychological problems. They are sick. So those are the people who are not heedless in a way, because their at least conscience is awake, that they are looking for something. But it is very ironic that like those are the ones who are defined as psychologically ill, as opposed to the people who are submerged into the heedlessness considered to be normal.
If you say life, I tasted it. I saw it was torment upon torment. This is also tied to the previous one. The mind became pure torture. I saw permanence to be tribulation. Permanence, isn't it like the eternity, like being eternal? So why he says permanence to be tribulation? Does he mean the desire for permanence is the tribulation? Okay. Because otherwise it's counterintuitive, right? We want permanence.
With my intellect, with my mind, the problem of permanence becomes a huge deal. It becomes a source of torture for me again. Because without my mind, if I was like memoryless and like mad, I wouldn't take it as a problem at all. Because then I would be able to live the moment. Like the animals do, they don't care. If you don't have any problem about tomorrow, then yeah, certainly you can live the moment. But the human mind, because of mind, we cannot do that. And I guess all sorts of drunkenness is a temporary solution to this problem. All sorts of drunkenness. So a friend was,
A drunken friend?
life became pure whim.
What's whim?
Heva. Like is it like desire or?
yeah, desire.
Carnal desires.
Life became pure whim. I saw attainment to be pure loss. This is dangerous waters now. We are into dangerous waters because
Do not attain to them.
I saw attainment to be pure loss. So does he suggesting that we shouldn't attach to anything, like our wives, for instance?
No,
children.
don't. He's talking about degree. Not certainly not wife.
Life became pure wind. I saw attainment to be pure loss. So, I guess the reason he's using the word whim, maybe he's referring a certain kind of attainment, right? So, certain kind of attachment.
Attainment, I mean, any sort of attainment? Is it becoming, what's the point of attainment Kemal, getting some sort of perfection? Why shall I run after any perfection? If I need to make most out of the moment, why would a sane person go for a PhD and waste his life in a laboratory while there's a chance to go out and, I don't know.
You're sailing in the dangerous water, man.
Because any sort of perfection the way that I understand it is any sort of perfection requires effort. So why should I put effort in anything as long as I'm going to die, it's going to come an end. So I will try to make most out of the moment as joys. And this is why I guess he says life become pure whim. The purpose of life becomes just chasing after my joys. And the best joy is the one that pays back the quickest.
Like, isn't that like life became pure whim, heva? So if it is heva, so you are going after something illusionary. You look for some sort of satisfaction, pleasure. You go after those pleasures, but like when you attain to those pleasures, you find that actually that's not the answer. And you just keep doing that over and over again, and like that's complete loss because you are wasting your life going after your heva, something that is almost like a carrot going before the rabbit.
The point I'm trying to understand is when you define your life in such a way, full of the collections of the whims. If this is your life, then attainment become the loss.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we all, right, trying to attain the eternity. We're trying to attain the peacefulness.
But so, like here, like I understand the attaining to acquiring those like whims that you go after, like experiencing them, tasting them, and then like continually doing that like throughout your life is the loss. Like you technically lose your life on going after things that is purely your heva. So like whatever, like something illusionary, like that you create in your mind that if I reach this, and that's gonna make me happy, and you attain it, and you find that it's not the answer. Isn't that what he's referring to?
Deeds became pure hypocrisy. I saw hopes to be pure pain. Deeds became pure hypocrisy. I saw hopes to be pure pain. Okay. But from the beginning, I'm trying to make sense, because if you do not put this into a context, it sounds like he's denying the life, he's denying our reality. But at the top of the table, it says this table is the reality of the world of the heedless. So this is not the world itself, this is your heedlessness which makes the words in that way. Okay.
Now the next table, like one is like from the perspective of a heedless person. The next table is from the perspective of a believer.
Okay. So we should keep in mind, I'm talking to myself, we shouldn't forget what we already read.
Nurse is talking about them, not us.
So yes.
There is no one heedless in this room.
Sure.
That's the reason I couldn't understand, because I'm not
You couldn't relate it.
I couldn't relate to myself, yeah. So, okay. union became parting itself. I saw the cure to be the ill. I guess this line is like Yusuf's favorite. Both parts. Union became parting itself. Parting inside the union. Within the union. Cure being the ill. Do you want to say something, Yusuf?
We should make a union.
I have a comment about that. The union became parting itself. I mean, currently with the new technology, social media, we say that it connects people. I heard my mom complaining about it. She was saying, yes, I can connect to the far, but I get disconnected with the ones that are close to me. Like every family meeting, everyone is just grabbing their phone and
Connecting to the world.
yeah. So it seemingly it brings union, but reality it disconnects people.
I guess he's going a little further and saying, even if you drop your phone, like just leave your phone and try to connect with your mother. I guess he's saying you will still feel the pain because you know that it will end. And especially like people like us, I'm visiting my home country or my family once in a year. Every time I go there, like the day I arrive, I'm imagining the house becoming empty, everyone leaving, because I have only 2-3 weeks. I guess that was your example, right? I'm stealing your experiences, Yusuf. But it happens to me as well.
You're talking about the day that you are going to leave?
Yeah, within the union, the same day, I just meet them. I already have the feeling
that you're going to
come
back to
yes, I will come back. I will leave them.
And it's really interesting if you are aware of it. Sometimes just think about the best. I mean, since America, it is hard to find a high quality baklava, whatever. And while you are eating something very valuable for you, let's say after 3 years, you haven't eaten çiğ köfte for 3 years and somebody's bringing you çiğ köfte, and you are eating it. And being together with family is an example for that, but it's being a little bit a tougher one. Çiğ köfte is an easier example, that's why I'm giving you. While eating it, yes, I do enjoy it, but I cannot keep it. The joy is just getting it right in front of my hands. I cannot keep it.
Just put in the plastic bags in the freezer.
That happens to me with the kete.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys may not know, it's some sort of pastry. That happens to me with the kete that my mom makes. Like I bring them here, put them in freezer. It's just perfect for the morning, like breakfast. But when I eat it, I constantly count, like how many more left, how many more left. I don't want them to I want them to last, but I know that it's gonna, one day, like I will come to the end of it. Like on one hand, it is like just perfect, like for breakfast, but on the other hand, it's like you don't want to eat it, you just still want to keep some of it.
Since we started sharing our personal lives, I guess it's time to end. Any
if you want to
remarks?
Find the permanence in kete, be close to your mom. That's my concluding remarks.
Let's close then, inshallah.
سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.